Hi everyone, William Weyser is here, and welcome to episode 7 of William Weyser's Childhood Fears. Thanks to another decision made by Rick on the last video, in terms of the comments, this is the third time that I get to talk about something that I've already talked about last time, but explained a little better. Now, for this one, I'm going to make one thing perfectly clear, like a lot of people. I'm a huge fan of SpongeBob SquarePants, and every episode has to have a title card to know which episode it is, whether it's something that I like or something that I don't like. I first saw this episode on the SpongeBob Wiki, and this was before the title card for this episode was even revealed. What I thought it was going to be was a pink background with the words shell-shocked in some sort of yellow font, and you get a shell that looks exactly like Gary's shell, and then it breaks, and then onto the writers. Instead, I get something totally different, and this would eventually be the worst title card for a SpongeBob SquarePants episode that I've ever seen, and I got introduced to this one in the Deep Sea Danger Zone, shortly after I got cable. So let's dive into the Deep Sea Danger Zone as I tell you about Shell Shocked. The actual title card for Shell Shocked is the letters in red font going up and down as in a ping-pong back-and-forth situation until they've run out of letters. And you get this gray background with electrical lines as of shock and outlets. And I'm already shell-shocked. So the premise of this episode is SpongeBob accidentally breaks Gary's shell, which is something that SpongeBob has done in the episode Whatever Happened to SpongeBob, and SpongeBob tries to look for a replacement, and he goes to Angry Jack's Shell Emporium after he sees a commercial about this, and he goes there, and at first he gets Gary's shell back, but then it breaks, and then he tries finding lots and lots of replacements, and every time he tries, the shell breaks. And he eventually breaks every single shell that's in the store, which results in a slow-mo of SpongeBob saying, "Why can't I stop breaking shells?" And on the Deep Sea Danger Zone commercial, there would be a faster version, so I already knew that this would not go well for Gary. Eventually, Mr. Krabs steps in and has his shell take the place of Gary's new shell, and you would see Mr. Krabs shellless earlier in the episode Shell of a Man, and this was just a bad episode for me, and this episode is paired up with a good episode and an appropriate title card in Sandcastles in the Sand. My advice would be step away from Shell Shocked at all and watch Sandcastles in the Sand. Thank you very much for watching this episode of William Weyser's Childhood Fears. Now, for the next episode, I want to make things halfway done with the already talked about things, and thanks to something that Rick Rampazzanetti, yes, that's his last name, wanted me to do earlier, but I couldn't do it because I had a different idea in mind, and couldn't use that idea for this episode. On the next episode, I'm doing it. The Barney's Musical Scrapbook trailer, and some good and some bad scrapbook memories that ensues along with it, before and after that. Until next time, don't get scared.